Yo guys, what is good? Welcome back on the Uncle Sharma channel for the last time this season in terms of Serie A. Inter win 2-0, like we predicted on the channel yesterday, and just like we predicted on the channel yesterday, Napoli win as well. So literally the most painful way to lose the Scudetto by winning, because we could have won the Scudetto. We just bottled it. Absolute bottle jobs. And I thought it wouldn't hurt, because we've been kind of resigned to this, haven't we, for a while, that this would happen. But then, they kept the hope going. And in the Lazio game, we literally could have won. The Scudetto could have been won in the Lazio game. And, because I was traveling, I was away, it didn't quite sink in. But, now I'm just watching, the post-match here. You can tell the players are dejected, but they're not crying. It's not like the Milan Scudetto where you saw Barella was crying, Lautaro was crying, Di Marco was crying. I remember that feeling of dejection. This one just feels like we know we've just messed up completely, and we've got something else to look forward to, which that's the difference compared to that Milan Scudetto win, because then we weren't in the Champions League final. And there is, the Napoli match is over officially. So, as much as it pains me to say, Antonio Conte and his wig, congratulations. Scott McFratme, McSauce, Chicken McNuggets, congrats, he's going to win the MVP of Serie A. And that guy, the bold guy from Belgium, you know who I'm talking about, that big lump with Timberland feet, scoring a goal as well today in a crucial match. It just shows you. Scott McTominay scoring an amazing scissor kick or volley, and then Lukaku, I saw his goal, amazing solo run, beating two defenders, slotting it away, taking his top off. Yeah, it was written in the stars for Napoli, and it's just pure pain, guys. Pure pain. And yes, of course, now we know we're just gonna. The good thing is now at least it's no there's no spareggio, there's no that playoff. At least that would have extended our pain. It would have extended our hope. That match I would have been proper hyped on and got hope in for. But then obviously that would have taken energies and time and everything away from that Champions League final. Now at least it's over, guys. Officially, just the arm has been cut off now. It's it. The blood's come out, and we can at least start sewing the arm together and just go into that Champions League final now, without having to think about that playoff match, which would have been played on Monday, which is obviously not ideal going into the Champions League final against PSG. But yeah, everything now after bottling Supercoppa. Let's start from the beginning. Bottling Supercoppa, even though I only count as a half trophy, but that's already a bad start. Was that this January, isn't it? Then you bottle. You chose to continue in the Coppa Italia. You didn't rotate heavily enough to show that we know they tried to win. They wanted to try to get to the final of the Coppa Italia. They didn't do that. Scudetto, we bottled that. So everything on this season really hinges on that Champions League final, which is funny to say because the Champions League final in any season saves you, or is everything. Champions League trumps everything. But in a season like this, where Inter have bottled everything, the best team in Italy, you might be a slight underdog going into the Champions League final. It really is now. Inzaghi and the players really need to deliver that Champions League, because otherwise this season really goes down as a failure, really. As much as the journey in the Champions League has been enjoyable and will be remembered and deserves praise, everything else will go down as a massive, massive disappointment. Massive disappointment. And yeah, I feel you. Luel, life is depressing. Football Focus, 100% bottle jobs. Internazionale, Bottlers FC. 2 Scudetti we bottle now, guys. 2 Scudetti. 2 Scudetti. And I don't know which one hurts more, to be honest. I remember feeling more anger on the Milan one because it's Milan. Napoli, I guess you could start to say they're starting to become rivals now as well, because once you start to get to these levels, winning back and forth, it's been us and Napoli. Last 3 years, Napoli won it, we won it, and then Napoli won it again now. So it's becoming a little 1-2 jab hook between us and Napoli, but they're not really our rivals in that way. It's always Milan and Juve. So when Milan and Juve win it, it's always more painful. But losing it to some of these Napoli players and the quality of this Antonio Conte squad, some of these players you see there, and seeing Mazzocchi lifting it, Pasquale Mazzocchi, who's barely a Serie A level player, Juan Jesus, we know what type of player he is, but he always seems to be reliable for Napoli. Politano, Meret, these types of players. But that's the difference a guy like Antonio Conte makes. That guy brings you probably 15, 18 points on his own. That guy, unreal. And of course, with one competition, that guy, one of his masterpiece job by Antonio Conte, and an absolute bottle job by Inzaghi and everyone involved. No, Messi, I think there are a few people like you, but Scudetto always is a big priority in Italy, man. So there's no way that I'm not going to be dejected about this. Yeah, Mighty Mo, go hide in the hole until the UCL final. Don't blame you. Freddie Boss is in pain. Even if today, that's the thing. Like even though today was expected, I had zero expectations from Cagliari. It still hurts. Because you can see, today we fully rotated the squad and we won. And this goes back to what I've been saying recently. People keep saying that Inzaghi's not been given, the backup squad isn't good enough. It's the start. I've decided, guys, it's the starters this season. Again, it's the starters that I have a problem with. When you think about it, Champions League group stages or whatever league stage, whatever it's called now, it was the backups that got us through. Inzaghi fully rotated it for pretty much every single one of those Champions League games, apart from maybe the Man City one and maybe one more. It was the backups. When it came down to it, why didn't we win any big match in Serie A this season? Because our starters as well let us down. Yes, of course, the Taremi again today, not scoring, and Correa scoring today on all days as usual. When there's nothing on the line, Correa's the guy for you. Those guys let us down. Arnautovic on the last day. Aslani at times. Frattesi when he can't even pass and control the ball. But the level of our starters has not been anywhere near good enough. Not any been in the big games when it's mattered. They've let us down. Inzaghi's, now he started, after the Torino game, now he started to experiment. Now he started to bring in a 3-4-2-1. Now he's starting to bring in a guy like Zalewski in. Too little, too late. And Inter also, in terms of the refereeing, we have to say, we lost the Scudetto by 1 point. And I'm not going to be here to complain about the refereeing and saying we lost the Scudetto because of refereeing. But little decisions, when it's a 1 point gap, little decisions do add up. The big ones that come to mind are the penalty on Thuram in the Milan derby, Pavlovic clearly clipping Thuram from behind, penalty not given. Against Roma, Bisek, Indica bringing down Bisek. That could have given us the points to be ahead of Napoli or be level with Napoli. The Lazio game, again, Bisek, maybe there should have been a penalty on him. Rovella just literally pushes him with two hands. shoves him to the ground. Two Lazio legend on Sky Sport Italia, Marchegiani and Di Canio, both said that should have been a penalty. Those decisions. There was that Oliveira, Napoli Inter or Inter Napoli. Oliveira literally volleyballs, slams the ball down into the ground with his hand, not penalty. Hakan missing a penalty in that Napoli game as well. You can go back all the way at the beginning, but then also outside, as I said, that's just, a little observation. And I think a lot of Interists, especially in Italy, are talking about this because you have to talk about it as well, guys. It's not just, of course, the performances have let us down, but when it's 1 point, when it's such a small margin, there's other factors in play as well. So Marotta League, everyone was talking about, Marotta League, last year Marotta League. No, this year, you can't say that. If anything, Inter probably suffered more decisions this year going against them. And that makes a difference when it's such a small margin. But then, yeah, you can go back to all the way to the beginning. First game of the season, bottling it. First game of the season to Genoa. Monza, the worst team in the league this season, and we barely got past them the second game, and then we drew to them in the first one. Pretty much all the big games. So many things went wrong. And Napoli deserve it. They were in the lead for, I think the stat said 20 matches, 20 match days they were in the lead, whereas Inter only 8 match days. So they deserve it. And as usual in Serie A, 99% of the time, the best defense wins the league. And look at that. Even with just 59 goals, I think it's going to go down in history as one of the lowest scoring Serie A winning teams ever, with 59 goals, which is measly. That's nothing. That's barely 2 goals a game, is it? No, it's not even. Yeah, actually, that's not even 2. Is that even 2 goals a game? So, what's that? What's 38 times 2? No, it's not even 2 goals a game. It's less than 2 goals a game. These guys literally, officially, have won the Scudetto. Basically, 1-0, 1-0 wins. Antonio Conte has 1-0'd his way into a Scudetto. That's crazy. And we finished at the top scorers of the league with 79 goals, but it means absolutely nothing because we conceded way too many goals. 8 more goals than Napoli, and those 8 goals in the end prove to be crucial. And that's that. 44 plus goal difference. Nothing. Ended up meaning nothing. Oh man, what a painful day. What a painful day. And I wasn't expecting it to be. I thought this was going to be a chill kind of, watching this game, see what Napoli do, but it actually is hurting, man. It actually is hurting. So be it. At least Inter try until the end, although it can be better, but appreciate the effort. Yeah, I mean, I saw at the end, even at the Como Stadium, as I expected, lots of Inter fans were present there, and they clapped the players off. At the end of the day, guys, football is a journey, a season is a journey, and these guys have taken us on a journey. A lot of the times it's not been an enjoyable, especially Serie A campaign has not been enjoyable. But yeah, appreciate the effort. Of course, I can't say that they didn't try, because they did try, but at just some point they just lacked the focus and maybe the fitness, even at times, the tactics, the decision making at times, the rotation. Something was lacking. But effort wise, yeah, I can't really say to these players that didn't give it their all. But clearly, one eye was on a different competition. Hey, Debbie, hope you're doing well. Thank you to you and Ian and family, Curb Mafia, and everyone really for the support this season as well, or on the channel. We've been here going through this journey all season. It was not what I was expecting. You guys know, since the start of the season, I predicted Inter to win the Scudetto, even when things were going badly. Even those 20 match days where Napoli were in the lead, I believed in Inter winning the Scudetto. Even in times where most fan base wasn't believing, I was trying to be pretty positive or optimist most of the time, but it just didn't work out. It didn't work out, but now it's just all eyes and all focus on that Champions League, and of course, yeah, Forza Inter till death, per sempre. We've got our McTominay. We have our McTominay. He's called Davide Frattesi, but he needs a manager like Conte, someone that can get the best out of him. McTominay, I watch Premier League. He's also a player who's pretty limited technically most of the time in terms of, if you want to talk about in the build-up, in the passing, but similar in terms of how Frattesi plays and how McTominay has been used. And that's why Napoli are linked with the Frattesi. A coach like Conte who values athleticism and the timing and running into the box crashing from his midfielders. Antonio Conte has always appreciated that in his midfielders, always appreciated that over the years. And he got the best out of McTominay. He saw that this guy isn't a guy that you play, deep into your midfield, picking up the ball from your defense. This is a guy that needs to be getting into the box. We have our McTominay, but again, whether it's on Frattesi, on the coaching staff and Inzaghi and how he's been used, the characteristics of Frattesi are there. And I think he could have been used a bit better. Of course, he could have done a lot better this year. But I just don't think the system is suited to how Frattesi plays. Okay, guys, if we lose the UCL, which I don't think we will, it won't be a horrible season. No, it won't be a horrible season, Alex, but, then it becomes, it becomes a very painful season, Alex. It won't be a horrible because once you get to you've got to the end of everything. You've got to the end of the Serie A right until the last match today. Well, you didn't get it to Coppa Italia, but Supercoppa, Champions League, you've got to the bottom of everything pretty much that you could have got to. So in terms of that, and that's what Inzaghi in the Marotta at the beginning of the season said, we want to go for every, there he is. Brother, I was expecting either you or Mo to come in. So
before I do, it's nice to see you, bro. I hope you're well. I'm going to ask your permission. Are you sure you're okay with me being here and sharing my opinion? Because I know both of us have different opinions, bro.
No, yeah, we probably have the same opinion. It's just that I'm more dejected and angry at the moment. So
yeah,
you let it rip.
Look, I'll use my 6 o'clock in the morning Sydney voice, so it'll still be calm to an extent. But guys, please understand that this is unacceptable. It's not acceptable, guys. We are Inter. I know that everyone is psyched with the icing and the cherry on top, which is a Champions League final, but please know that the entire foundation has been crumbling like a bad sponge cake. This is not good. We are Inter. Siamo l'Inter. We are the champions of Italy, and today we are no longer the champions of Italy. Please listen to what I'm saying, everybody. You need to keep the bar at a certain level. In this day and age, it can drop very quickly. I have been feeling nothing but depression and outrage since, multiple times this season in Serie A. The 2-2 against Parma was the first sign that it was over for me. The signs were there before that. We've fucked up 2 wins against the now current champions. I mean, I will never blame Hakan for missing a penalty, but brother, you could not have picked the worst time in your life to miss that penalty. You could never miss a penalty that could make up for that one again. On top of that, we had them 1-0 in the return leg before conceding in the 87th minute. We had the 4-4 against Juve. We've had multiple comebacks against multiple sides. We had multiple opportunities to go ahead again. We treated this competition like we did not care about it. And to be honest, I'm very, very dejected at some of the fans as well for thinking that this is a competition that you can throw away. I am seeing the way that some people are speaking about the Scudetto this season. Shams, you'd think it was the Supercoppa. And you know me, you've known me for a long time now. I've supported this club since I knew what Italian football was. And I'm never someone that comes out and says that certain fans support harder, certain fans are this. In fact, it's one of my vexes. But guys, on days like this, you can tell that some of you supported the club around about that 2010 mark, or you used that as your bench point for what is the most important thing to Inter. The most important thing to Inter is what's above the Zeal's head. There's two of them. We need to keep adding these. We are Inter. This is the focal point of our existence, and we threw it away, gang. We threw it away in a way that this is way worse than the Milan one. We gave Milan an opportunity and they got 21 points out of 21. We have constantly driven a fucking Neapolitan pizza to their front door when they have just finished dinner. They weren't hungry. Why did we keep feeding them? Why did we keep topping up their plate every single time that they were full? I'm so sorry, Zeal, but we had them so many times this season. And the only silver lining is that I am nowhere near as pissed off today as if there was a little bit of hope left. But for me, there was not even 1%. I wasn't even a part of the 1% club. I've been miserable all week, and I've been making little excuses at work to people. Only 2 of my colleagues know why I've been really, really miserable. I've had a couple of lovely ladies, because I work in education where there's a lot of teachers' aides, women in like their 50s, 60s, real genuine, lovely ladies who have taken care of kids their whole life. They're coming up to me. They're like, "Oh, are you okay, love? You don't look well. Are you okay? You feeling okay? Something going on?" And in my head, I'm just like, just get the fuck away from me until we bottle this title so I can get over it in peace. And now we're here, Shams. And I'm sorry to say, in the words of Will Ferrell in Talladega Nights, if you're not first, you're last, brother.
Yeah, no. But the thing is, Anthony, like after all that shitting and bottling the whole year, we still had the chance against Lazio. Like we were first for like a few moments in the Lazio game. Even today, we were first for like a few moments. That's what makes it so painful. That Lazio game is just like, and it's Lazio all over again. 2002 was when we bottled that Scudetto, R9, crying.
It's tough. It's tough. And I can see some people in the comments, and that's fine, bro. You guys cope the way you want. I'll cope the way I want. I've been supporting this club since I was 5 years old. I've seen worse than this. And you know what? We will see worse than this. This doesn't even rank as the top 3 disasters for me. We're built for this. I'll still get up and go on with my day. This isn't something that happens to us that, will devastate us for 5-10 years time. But this season, it's not good enough. It's actually despicable that we've let this title go. It really, really is. It's really not acceptable for a club like this. Sorry.
Do you know whether it's like an all-time low in terms of the point tally for the Scudetto? Like, it must be one of the all-time lows, 82 points.
Yes, it is definitely an all-time low for the points tally. And, just if we can take 1 second from moving away from Inter, it's a poor season by a lot of team standards. It's a poor season. It's a poor season by our standard that we did not win it. It's not a poor season by Napoli standards, but when you break it down, they should have run away with it. It's a poor season by Atalanta's standards, who exited Europe early and literally decided to take a vacation in Italy as soon as they got knocked out of Europe.
I was saying they should be kicking themselves, Atalanta. They could have gone to the end in this.
And it's just as much as a disgrace and a disaster as the highest paid director and 220 million euros being dropped in the transfer market and still needing to qualify for the top fucking 4 against Venezia on the last day. So yeah, it's a bummy ass season in Italy, man.
And let's not forget our air conditioner cousins.
Yeah, and you know what? Like, had they won the Coppa Italia, I would have been all for them coming out saying, "Haha, we had a better season than you guys domestically," because then I would say, "Yeah, you actually did." But at the end of the day, you can take your Super Coppa Arabia, to be honest.
Yeah, no, man, it has been. I mean, as a neutral, if you look at it neutrally, yeah, it's nice. Like, Inter, Napoli going to the last day, the top 4 race, the life to the last day. That's all nice. But when you look at it objectively, it's not been a very good season. Like, I mean, the perfect example of this, Anthony, is also like the top scorer race. Like, what is that? Like, what kind of top scorer race is that? A guy just run away. He won it like in January, Moretegi.
Yeah, not only that, you've got 2 pure out and out. Well, actually, 1 pure out and out striker, 1 center forward, 7 goals below him, and then the rest are just floating front three men across the park.
And this twat today, did you see him? He took his top off. He scored an amazing solo goal and took his top off. That's what hurts me the most, to be honest, Anthony.
Why did I not put money on Lukaku and McChickenburger to score today? I don't know. All these things that I say are going to happen in my head before I go to bed, and then I wake up with no profit to show for it.
Bro, this guy, I mean, he scored, I think he's got 10 GA more than Lautaro this season as well, by the way.
Is that Lukaku or Thuram?
Lukaku.
Ugh. Yeah, well, unfortunately, guys, that's not the last you're going to see of him. Hot take, well, not as hot. You'll probably start seeing the links and rumors in a week. Juventus will drop some healthy money on him next season. You will probably see him leading the line in black and white.
Nah, I used to reckon Conte wants to bring him to Juve as well.
I reckon we dance again, baby.
Oh, yeah, I mean, all the rumors is Conte.
No one's talking about that yet. No one's talking about how Lukaku now after this season, he worshipped the ground that Conte walked on before this. Now he will get bro. I can't, man. Like it's happening, bro. Because I'm 99% convinced that Conte walks from Napoli now after winning this title and goes straight to Turin. Because he walks headfirst into a better lineup, and yeah, next season is where the real domestic war starts again. So every bone and fiber in my body is praying that we win this Champions League, because if we don't, I am very, very scared that we're going to start playing second fiddle in an embarrassing way.
Yeah, that's the Juve that we're scared of. Like we've been keep getting scared of it last few seasons, but it actually hasn't worked out. But if Antonio Conte goes there, then that's like, yeah, then they're back.
Yeah, they are definitely back. But enough from me, bro. Hey, I didn't listen to you at the start. How are you feeling? Like, how are you gonna get yourself excited and hyped for this UCL final? Because you know me, I'm a pessimist, so my brain is going to race towards the potential heartbreak, more towards the potential elation. And it just would have been so much sweeter to have won a Scudetto. Not even today. Like, let's face it, this Scudetto theoretically should have been wrapped up by match day 30, 31. Not mathematically, and we still should have worked for it, but everybody said it. Everybody knew it. From you to me to Nima on the Italian Football Podcast, you cannot go into April with a butt-fucking 1 point lead. You can't do that with the games that we had coming up in between Bayern and Barca. Guys, you could handpick the best players in Real Madrid and every team in the world to play our fixture list. They would have dropped those games against Bologna and Roma. I'm not saying that our team was expected to perform superhuman, Herculean tasks. We failed to strategize around that. We failed to plan for that. And I kept saying all season, guys, you're forgetting that it's Antonio Conte. I know what you guys mean. Trust me, I agree with you all in theory. We shouldn't have to worry. We shouldn't have to worry. But we did have to worry, and we didn't acknowledge it. And it's the devil that we did know that came and snaked it from us. And that's what's embarrassing, bro. You let the devil back into your own house, and now we're surprised when he stole all our money.
Yeah.
It's really disappointing, Raul. I've got certain standards that I hold myself to, and this is just not what I want to see Inter doing, especially not in the last few years where we've supposedly got ourselves back to European pedigree. We've supposedly got ourselves back to being those guys. But like I said, we're not those guys because we're not bad guys, Raul. And sometimes you need to be bad guys. Like Mourinho said to Tottenham, you need to be C words. You're too nice, and we are too nice.
Where do you stand with Inzaghi? Because I was watching Mo's watch along, and I commented for a few moments, and then the few minutes I was watching, he actually said that he's had enough of Inzaghi. That
Mo had enough of Inzaghi when we were 12 points clear for the Scudetto last season. So Mo's my brother, but when it comes to his opinions on Inzaghi, I will disagree 11 times out of 10.
Well, your Australian brother, Gab, he says he's got one last chance for Inzaghi, which sounds like he's Inzaghi out, but it's not. People need to understand. But I understand where Gab is coming from. You know, there's only so many chances in terms of league football you can give to a coach. You know, 1 Scudetto out of 4, as you said, Anthony, is not good enough. especially in the context that we're in as the best team in Italy. So where do you stand on Inzaghi?
I think those are great points because, it would be hypocritical of me to not agree with that because I am a results person. I really, that's the only thing I care about is the result. And yeah, 1 in 4 isn't good enough. It's not good enough. And I guess next season, Inzaghi still has a chance with a very solid springboard to win this league again. Because if I'm already allowed to look ahead to next season, we should only have one challenger for the league next season. Atalanta should not be challenging us. They're going through a transition. Roma and Lazio will not be strong enough. I know that Milan will not have European competition, but I dare say unless Antonio fucking Conte is going to go to Milan, they're not going to win the title either. He will leave Napoli. They will regress, and he will go to the main challenger. Inzaghi, you've got another chance. It's embarrassing, bro. He has another chance next season to win a league quite easily, to be honest. Not easy. You know what I'm saying, yeah? Where's the world-class competition? Where's the main threat? Where's the superstars breathing down our throat? Next season, Inzaghi does have a chance to re-cement himself. Like, if he wants to stay here, if he wants to build that legacy that he's spoken about, you want to be a 10-year, 15-year stint at this club, well, next year you've got a chance again to really, really prioritize the league and walk on it. I mean, Zio, let's face it. If we become the happiest people in the world next weekend, we will win the Scudetto next season. I know we will. I know if we win the Champions League next weekend, we will win the Scudetto next season by 12 points. It will be that sort of season. We will come out of the Champions League going, all right, now we go back to domestic dominance. Simple as that. We know how this club works mentally. Lose the Champions League, I start to fear the worst.
But don't you think we've seen this Inter team is usually it's best when they get a big hit, big uppercut in the chest, in the gut, like the Champions League final? Then the season after is when we cakewalk the league.
Yeah, that's a good point. I think multiple factors contributed to us pissing the league that season. What you said, definitely one of them. Second of which, Inzaghi had never won a league before. I used to joke, Inzaghi wants this more than he wants his next offspring. Like, this is his next child, and he's got that now. Complacency, unfortunately, has trickled into our manager this season. I don't blame Inzaghi directly for losing this league title because when you look at some of the calamity errors and fuck-ups on the pitch, it's not like Inzaghi has a joystick in his hand, yeah? This ain't no PlayStation 5. Some of those mess-ups on the pitch today can only be pinned on individuals and not being focused and being in the right place at the right time, making poor mistakes, etc., etc. Next season, man, we need to take this league by the horns again because Antonio Conte is going to be at Juve and he is going to win the league with them eventually. If it's not next season, it'll be the season after. So, yeah, I'm just gutted, man. I'm just gutted. I knew I would feel this way today. I'm a little happy that I'm not feeling anywhere near as gutted as I would have, provided it was if what happened last week happened this week, there would be no Inter worldwide. It would be on leave worldwide, annual leave worldwide, long service worldwide. No, thank you worldwide. Nah, I wouldn't do it.
Oh man, we're all gonna miss your no thank you shorts for sure, guys.
Oh yeah, that's over. Every anti-jinx runs its course at some point in its life, and it was a good run, guys. We got the second star with the no thanks.
Yeah, no. Well, I want to thank you, Anthony, for being on the journey as always. We've been doing this content now for 5-6 years. We're
we're nowhere near done. We're nowhere near done, my brother.
Yeah, it's just
gets hard.
It's hard on some days.
It is, bro, and this is what I was saying. Like even in one of my chats this morning, because I understand my opinion can be difficult to tolerate sometimes, especially for those who don't see it the same way I do. And I said, I'm like, guys, I'll keep supporting in my own way. I've been this way ever since I was a kid, because, bro, like, I hate to bring this up on a day like this. That day in 2002. We didn't have coverage in Australia. I didn't know what was going on. All I remember is the night before asking my dad, Inter's playing tomorrow, right? They're gonna blah, 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 blah. My dad didn't say anything. He nodded and looked in the other direction. I didn't understand that at the time, Zio. Didn't understand it at the time. Then he picked me up from school that day. I looked at him, I go, Dad, and he just shook his head. And my whole life started on that day, bro. With this club, it started on that day. And it's ingrained into our club's traditions and engraved into our writing, into our quotes. This is not an easy love that you have chosen. You've chosen a difficult one. See it through to the end with the lowest of the lows and the highest of the highs every single time. Sempre è solo Forza Inter.
Yeah, for sure, bro.
Big Ange for Inter.
Big Ange. Good day, mate.
Mate, good on him, but good on him.
Yeah, I'm happy for him. He was looking like a bit of a salty, like an old, really depressed guy this season. He wasn't giving off those nice guy vibes that he was before. But I'm actually happy for him. This is like
his cranky Aussie pants came out this season, and you love to see it because Aussies don't generally tolerate passive aggressive disrespect very well. We're very, very much more so, all right, you want to fight, let's fight, and then we'll have a beer afterwards. But when you tiptoe around us, it gets agitating. So to him go off at that reporter the other day was very Australian, mate. Hey, mate, I am no clown, all right? You understand that? I am no bloody clown, you understand? Like, I swear to God, I've probably heard 6 or 7 teachers in my life say that exact word, point that exact same finger at a class of students. I am no bloody clown, you understand? All right, bro. I'm going to go.
By the way, McSauce. And he's won the Serie A MVP deservedly. Wait, would you Anthony's a Man United fan, by the way. Could you, even in your best dream, would you have predicted Scott McTominay Serie A MVP?
So I've been joking throughout this season that the one thing that I enjoyed about Scott McTominay at Manchester United was that he had a high footballing IQ, and me and my mates would joke that, all right, let's make some goddamn money. And I shit you not, bro, a lot of the money I made in betting in that season was from Scott McTominay scoring goals, because he'd get subbed on 60th minute, 65th minute, when Man United were just absolutely bombing forward. Literally everything was bombing forward. It was hoofball 24/7. I'm like, well, the only guy that's going to be able to score is either Marcus Rashford or Scott McTominay. And every so often it was McSauce. And I joked this season as it started, I go, bro, this guy's gonna McSauce his way all the way to like into Napoli's history books. And it just kept going and going and going. And then the joke started to not become a joke anymore. And then it wasn't even funny even for a millisecond. And zeal, then it became the only goddamn reason we started to lose the Scudetto.
Literally. This guy,
bro, Scott McTominay came to it robbed us of a Scudetto. Scott McChickenburger, McFlurry, that guy.
That goal deserves a Scudetto, by the way. This goal here.
Look at it. Look at the quality. Is he available?
Not now.
No, bro.
Wow.
Oh man, bro. I'm gonna love you and leave you. I need some oxytocin from Vince and my wife when she wakes up. So I'm gonna go and seek happiness elsewhere. But you made me feel a lot better. Thanks for letting me on the show, bro.
No, thank you for coming through, man. And I mean, get hyped for the Champions League final, bro. I know you're trying to like be all
big
anti now. Come on, Champions League final.
Yes, come on. If I can do it, come on, guys. If I can do it, I'm getting up. If I can do it, you all can do it. We got to get up for it. We're Inter fans. That's what we do. All right, brother. I'll speak to you soon.
Ciao, bro. That was Anthony from Inter Worldwide. If you don't know, make sure you check him out on Inter Worldwide. That is the channel on YouTube. I'm going to finish up now. Let me go back to, I wanted to thank the people that gave donations because I wasn't able to whilst Anthony was talking. I didn't want to interrupt him. Ahmad, first of all, thank you very much. And I agree with you. It's not the subs or the starters. What I was trying to say is that, it's always easy to go onto the subs, where to me, it was more the starters. But I agree. It wasn't. In reality, it was in the league. There was just not enough focus, not enough concentration and hunger. So 100% with you on that. Matthias says Bisek should not have a future in Inter. I mean, I've said that for a while. If an offer comes along, you're talking about 30+ million. I do like the boy. I like him, his character, his personality, his characteristics as well, which is, we do need a bit of athleticism and pace at the back, ball playing ability, but it just doesn't seem like he's concentrated a lot of the times, and he was doing similar mistakes again today, which didn't cost us a goal. But it seems like, if Inter can cash in on Bisek, it might be the right summer to do it. Eduardo as well, of course, he's been here from game 1 to game 38. Thank you for always your support donations. You've been here since day 1 of the channel as well. Alex, of course, the guy who's given us this channel lots of nice graphics and animations or characters. We shouldn't have to rely on teams to lose. We lost Scudetto months ago, 100%. But sometimes you do, Alex. Sometimes you do, and it worked. Teams did, do it for us. Parma did it for us. Other teams did it for us. Like Napoli did not do what Milan did. Milan went on that 6-7 winning game streak at the end of the season where we couldn't do nothing, and they ran away with it. This time, teams helped us. We relied on them, and they actually did help us, but we couldn't help ourselves. That's what hurts the most about this season's loss. Debica, as usual, supporting as well. In it together, win or lose, boys, fratelli del mondo, fratelli e sorelle, including you, the girls as well, Debbie, fratelli e sorelle del mondo. And yeah, I do want to take a minute just to congratulate, if there are any Napoli fans in the house, Napoli Talk, our brother Dom, the YouTube channel that I collaborate with. He is in Naples. I mentioned him earlier, so he must be celebrating right now, enjoying the streets of Napoli. And yeah, congrats to you guys. You deserve it. Antonio Conte, what a coach. This is why, a lot of us Interisti still miss him. We're angry with him, but as a coach in the league football, man, there's not many better around in Italy, especially. He could be one of the all-time greats already at his age in terms of just league football. European, obviously, yeah. there's a lot better than that guy, but he's got time to fix those things as well. In the summer, yeah, definitely. We are looking forward to this summer. It's going to be busy, man. It's going to be busy. It has to be a big summer. Lots of money coming in terms of revenue. I am expecting, and I am still going to make that video for you guys to just explain to you guys the financial situation. And it's not going to be the negative Nancy video. It's going to be the video that shows that Oak Tree have money to spend and should spend money this summer. We're not sure. Yeah, Zielinski's back. Zielinski will be back available for the champion. Pavard's injury is not sure yet, so we'll have to keep a lookout for that. His one, he was supposed to be back for the Barcelona second leg, remember? And he still is not back. And then Bisa got injured right at the end, so hopefully that's nothing serious. And yes, Nico, 100% doing a live call in for the UCL preview. So make sure, I definitely want you in for that, Nico. I'll try to. I'm not going to do that as like a, in the moment and just do it live as soon as I feel like. I'm going to try to schedule it so many of you guys can try to call in. I want to keep rotating people in and out for a few minutes before that, just like I did a few years back before the Man City game. I want to hear the thoughts and feelings of all Interisti before that big historic Champions League final. So make sure you keep a lookout on the channel for that. Last time we lost the league, Tommy. Hey, Tommy, man, my optimist brother. Last time we lost the league, we walked it in the following season. Inzaghi needs to do that now. This should have been 3 Scudetto out of 4. I'm glad that you say that, at least, Tommy. I know you're super positive, but I'm glad that at least you are also a realist in the fact that we should have had. Yeah, I mean, it should be out of 4, or at least, just at least half, just numerically, but then realistically, in terms of the teams that we lost, that it should be 3 out of 4, 100%. But yeah, hopefully Inzaghi and the management understand that you can't go for all competition. You have to, unfortunately, narrow down on 2 competitions max, especially if you're not going to invest deeply into the squad. And in terms of our physical preparation, we got it wrong. The physios, the fitness trainers, they definitely got it wrong. This team has been running on, barely anything for most of the season. Like, we've barely seen Inter at the best in terms of physically, athletically. Yes, we are old, but we know how good Inter looks. That's why we haven't been able to play great football for most of the season. Even in Champions League, guys, realistically, we've not really played that well most of the games, especially the group stages. Some of those games were real struggles where we just got past teams. We can say that Luca says we can be proud of this team. We fought the Scudetto until the very last match day, da ragazzi. Yeah, no. I definitely, I know. Yeah, this is where maybe I slightly disagree with Anthony, where I agree with him that, we have high standards and we should expect more. And 100%, we've bottled the Scudetto, and this is another one where, Inzaghi and the players need to fix next season straight away. But at the end of the day, what you can ask of your team is to be in these positions to challenge for all these titles, for sure, and the journey. So in that sense, I am proud of the team, but in Serie A, I can't be Luca. I'll be honest with you, man. I can't be proud in Serie A. Like, it's just not a journey to be proud of. We are better than this, Luca. We are better than this. We're way better than the competition in Serie A, and we shouldn't have been in this position. But overall, as a season, yeah, I am proud of the guys. Who will start RCB? You see how if Pavard is recovered. Probably, I would trust Darmian, to be honest. I would trust Darmian on that one. Bring back Pintus. I mean, yeah, if Conte goes to, I mean, that's the scary rumor, guys. It's not confirmed. I saw someone ask. It's not confirmed, but the rumors are starting to add up that Juve want to go all in on Conte. They want to give him whatever he wants to bring him back. And Ancelotti is leaving Real Madrid. Therefore, Pintus is leaving Real Madrid. And the rumors is Conte wants to bring Pintus with him to Juventus. So that is scary, scary hours, not just for Inter, but for the rest of Serie A as well. Oh, ADL next year, I'd like Conte to try his hand. Who's going to tell him? Yeah, that meme, hand on shoulder meme. Who's going to tell him? But remember, even when Spalletti won the Scudetto, that guy ADL was so cocky about the UCL. He thought that that Napoli team was able to go all the way in the UCL. He was actually angry. I think that's one of the things that got Spalletti angry, and he left, is that ADL actually expected Spalletti to get that Napoli team to the final of the Champions League as well. But yeah, who's going to tell him? Who's going to sell him? Eduardo, there he is, bringing in the positivity. We're ready to win the UCL now. Yes, again, speaking of, like, how this Inter team sometimes needs this kind of punch in the guts to react. Maybe this gut punch of the Scudetto loss is what they need going into that Champions League final. Maybe, some people think it would have been nice to be euphoric, be happy, have that motivation going into the Champions League final that, yeah, you won this, now the next one. But actually, sometimes, being hurt maybe helps more. And we saw that, like, Inter players, if you watched that documentary last season, they were all talking about it. They used the anger or the sadness from the Champions League loss to dominate Serie A last season. They all pretty much said that's the moment where they knew that, they can go head to head with any team in the world, but they need to bring the Serie A home next season. So hopefully, if we get this UCL kind of, I think there's a bit of, this monkey of these players want to win the UCL since the start of the season. They feel like, yes, we've got a Serie A under our belt. Some of these older guys want to get a UCL. If we can get this UCL, man, then I think we can then return to try to just focus on Serie A next season. I think were the weeks where Denzel and Marcus were injured, the league were lost. Maybe. But I mean, Marcus came back as well, Tommy. Marcus, how long has he been back as well? And he's been, because he's probably not fully fit, he's not been great. Denzel, 2025 Denzel, I can say that was a big miss, those few weeks where Denzel was missing, because Matty Doms in 2025 is nowhere near this Denzel. So that one definitely also had some impact, yeah, for sure. But yeah, guys, 50 minutes, dejecting, a bit of a sad stream, but I hope you guys enjoyed it. Yeah, I think this season for sure. I think last year everyone was obsessed with the second star, me including myself. I was like, I don't care about UCL, just give me that second star when I win it, and then we won it in Milan's face. But this season, I think the players, the management, Inzaghi, everyone has been that slight, focus towards the UCL. And yeah, any day of the week in terms of importance, in terms of weight, in terms of prestige, there is no competition. A UCL trumps a Scudetto. Easy. So you win a UCL, everything is forgiven. This Scudetto bottle, I forgive it straight away. I won't even mention that Lukaku has more GA than Lautaro. I won't mention that Lukaku has the same goals scored as Thuram. I won't mention any other guys flopping. I won't mention anything. I'll just be ecstatic because a UCL, guys, saves your life, changes your life. Because if we add a number 4 to the third, if we add another star here, guys, wow, we go really in the upper echelons of European clubs, guys. We already are in terms of 3 UCLs. Not many clubs have done that. But 4, we start to be in real, prestigious territory. Yeah, we got to beat the Oil Club for sure. We cannot let the Oil Club win another UCL. But yeah, he had an easy job. But I think it's easy to say, Debbie. How many other managers have done this? Usually, the best teams are the ones in the Champions League. Maybe he got lucky. The fact that Napoli had such a bad drop off the season before, they finished 10th and they were out of all the competitions. That gave him much less. So that is true. But at the same time, other teams are always outside of Europe as well at times. As we said, I think Atalanta should be biting their hand off at the moment. They got out of Europe kind of quite early as well. I think they should have been challenging for the Scudetto with their team and their strikers. I mean, Lukman and Retegui both are in the top scoring charts. And they had a better defense at the end of the season. They've actually finished with the better defense. Actually, they have to play one more game, but they finished with the better defense than Inter at the moment. But yeah, regardless of that, let's keep positive, as Debbie says, and focus on that UCL. I know, bro. I know. See you guys in the coming weeks. So yeah, schedule for the channel, Serie A team of the season. Maybe we'll do like a flop of the season thing as well. Luis Enrique scout report. That's my priority, actually, for sure. So you guys have been asking for it. Obviously, Champions League preview with a PSG fan, but then also a separate one, like a call-in with you guys. Yeah, busy few days coming up and weeks coming up. Transfer window, of course, as well. Keep you guys up to date. Thank you for tuning in. Congrats, Napoli, once again. They deserve it. We bottled it. Not good enough, but all eyes on that UCL. Ciao ragazzi, even on days like this, always, Forza Inter per sempre. Ciao.